My name is Terri Messenger, and I am a move to the masterclass, and we are going to move to the flip side, which is we're going to be doing a lot of alchemizing. So this is where you awaken your inner genius, and I would like to give you all a very, very warm welcome as you join and as you really bring a conscious competency to your life. And Awaken Your Inner Genius is possibly one of the most sought after programs and prerequisites that I have actually ever done. And I feel that the reason for it is because it really gives you a huge opening as to what to expect if you're coming in and you are going to become a world-class coach. So let me know if you can see my screen. I'm just going to check on the other side. I've got myself kind of set up here. So yes, you can see Brand Your Brilliance. So if you have done the masterclass for Brand Your Brilliance, lovely to see your gorgeous faces. Melissa, Bridget, hi Wayne, great to see you here. We have got another man too that unfortunately he's working in a night shift, so he missed the first class tonight, but he'll be certainly joining with us. And he's sort of been known to us, to both Ian and I, for quite a long time. So as we took you through the masterclass to really unleash your iconic superpower, we talked about the most important piece that you need for your business. So if I'm talking to people that want to create that legacy life, then I will have to say that this is your first biggest pillar, and that is to have crystal clear clarity, vision, and mission around what you are creating. So as we are obviously on the other side of that masterclass, if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend that you go back and you do watch it, because it really does help you to anchor and harness these elements. So we talked about, obviously the 5 pillars, and I believe that in every business, just let me set something up here. In every business, everybody should have like 5 pillars that you really around what you're teaching on. And with your 5 pillars, one offer, one program, and if you can create one offer, one program, and then if you have already created little mini programs, you can then obviously focus all your power on your genius zone. And when you are connecting with people, what you then do is you can actually downsell. So you look at it from starting at the top, your biggest offer. Now, this is not my biggest offer, but because you are already in my portal, this is like almost one of the greatest prerequisites for launching into the world-class coaching, where I train, teach, and really give you those, elements for your acquisition. So it's very much certification, acquisitional. And what we focused on is, what does your health and body look like, right? So this was the focus. And the second master key was, what is your relationships like? Now, if you are struggling in an area of your life, you will find that whatever you have struggled with in your genius, when you overcome it, because everyone here is really called. If you are in my space, you are called to be a light worker. So sometimes things happen for us rather than happening to us. So, for example, if you are finding that you are either, really in a bad way in your relationships, whether it is that you're not getting any traction with your dream clients, or maybe it is in your partnerships, in your business, or wherever it is. This is the big element where we rewire, we recode, because everything is really about relationships, right, you guys? So, number 3 is your spiritual prosperity. And in the masterclass, we said, okay, how much money are you calling in? Like if I said to you, how much money are you going to be calling in your alchemized dream life every single month? Those who did the masterclass will have that number down. And so that's what we want you to have very affirmative, so we can reverse engineer it. And then, of course, is the zone of genius. So what is it? What is it that you have overcome in your life? What is the biggest thing that you've struggled with and you have found that you've been able to get onto the other side of, right? And number 5 is your legacy. Now, this is the part where you make a stand as the ancestral lineage of creating a different pattern and breaking all the sabotaging patterns, breaking all of the elements that have had karmic effects in your life throughout these master keys that I'm talking about: health, relationships, prosperity, your success and soul purpose, and of course, this legacy. So this is really what we're going to be concentrating on tonight. So who's excited? If you're excited, let me know. And yes, let me know in the chat. That would be great. Perhaps even consider what it is that is stopping and blocking you. So here is the $64 million question. Are you guys ready? If you know, and you've done our masterclass, and you know very much what your body health looks like, what your dream relationships look like, and you can always pause and come back to this, how much money you're earning on a monthly basis, and maybe if this is your first class, you can concentrate on that piece. And what is it that you've overcome, and what is it that you've truly overcome and that you're making a big difference in? And then comes the question, what is the biggest element that you're suffering? So is it number 1, your health and energy? Number 2, in the relationships? Number 3, in your spiritual prosperity? Number 4, in your zone of genius? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually open up the chat room. Can I get you to either put down, like obviously putting it down, because obviously knowing is the big powerful piece here, you guys, right? Because we talked about opening up the heart, expanding it, and really bringing in love and light. But by actually knowing what is stopping and blocking you, and what is not quite working in your life, is super powerful. So if you're prepared, put it down in the chat. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some work on that. So this is about birthing your life purpose. And of course, because we were actually born as beautiful, soul creatures, human beings. And one of the biggest parts that I really, really wanted to make very, very crystal clear is that you are not your parts. You are not your emotions. So if you feel that, you're wanting to create this legacy, you're wanting to go forward in your practice, but there's something holding you back, by you knowing what it is, perhaps just write it down, yes or no, if you know what is stopping and blocking, just so I can really move forward and understand that. So I'd love to hear from you if you know what is stopping and blocking you, because this is the alchemizing work. This is the high priestess work. This is the spiritual, energetic work that is going to help you to be set free. Okay. So how are we all going? Have we got yes? All right. So we've got body and prosperity. I won't be saying your names. Deep mindset habits. Right. Okay. Deep mindset habits, health, relationships, prosperity, and zone of genius, body and prosperity. Thank you for sharing. That's really, really great. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a ceremony where I'm going to actually presume that you have really created your vision, right? And I'm really, really, really going to encourage you to go back and look at that masterclass. If not, really get that vision crystal clear. And I've helped that by really awakening what your body's going to look like, your energy, what your relationships are going to look like, what your prosperity, how much money you're going to be making, your zone of genius. And then we're going to look at the element that is sabotaging, the element that is stopping and blocking you. Because if that is not actually crystallized, if that's not dissolved, if that's not released, guess what? You're going to be doing this. You're going to be going around and around and around. So this is really amazing for being able to get into that zone where you'll awaken your genius. Now, if you give me permission to call upon your guides, and it happens to be a solar eclipse during this first awakening, so will I say that this is a very, very powerful time to be doing this? So what I would like you to do is I would like you to put into the comments, yes, if you are prepared to dissolve, clear, and release what is stopping and blocking you. If you haven't got crystal clear clarity around your goal, then you've got the opportunity to look at this and come back, and it'll be so powerful, so epic, and it's really going to move you forward. So I'm getting all these yeses. Thank you very much. Everyone in the house is saying yes. So let's do this. No further ado. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to firstly begin by asking you to close your eyes down shut. And as you close your eyes down shut, I'm going to now I'm going to get you to place your hand on your heart. And I'm just going to ask you to take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it and breathe out. Now I ask that your highest guide, the guide that knows very much your heart and your soul, is going to speak through you, is going to gift you with knowledge, is going to awaken you. And this is going to be as if there is going to be a guide that is going to speak into your life. And as you know, we taught this also in the masterclass, the channeling. So your super role model, what they would say to you, a new belief. And I'm going to ask you to allow that guide under the divine creation, under the pure, sheer love and unconditional expansion of the world, to now open the crown chakra of your head and allow that guide to speak into your life. And as we channel it all the way down, we're going to take this opportunity to just be very still within ourselves. So notice your breath. Notice your hands, notice your feet. Notice if there's any tension in your body and release it. I want you to put your eyes, as they're closed, up, so they're looking up through the crown of your head. And as your eyes are looking up through the crown of your head, I want you to completely allow yourself to relax deeply, powerfully, gently, softly into this beautiful trance where you are going to allow yourself to hear from your guide, to hear what it is that you must know about. This is not about becoming anything more than you already are or knowing anything more. This is about expanding your conscious awareness and tweaking. So now, as this channeling takes place, just allow this golden light to now immerse throughout your entire body. And as it immerses throughout the entire body, just allow yourself to fill up with complete golden light. And as you fill up with complete golden light, I'm going to bring you back to opening up your eyes and coming back to where you are. 1, 2, and 3. Open your eyes. Now you may feel that you are more relaxed, and that is excellent. And what we want to do is we want to I'm going to turn off the recording, so that what's going to happen is we're going to pause it while we do a little take from the class. Okay, so let's just do an overview. So in order to have the crystal clear vision, right, we have people in the house that have mentioned relationships. We've had people in the house that have mentioned health. We've had people in the house that have mentioned prosperity. So I have to say, this is really like a match made in heaven. So, you know, the fact is that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And when you can clearly define that your mission is to, you know, obviously in your legacy life is to be able to really help X amount of people. When you've got the number, let's just say, because we went between 10,000 and 50,000, okay? So let's go midstream. I'm going to go 25,000. So at 25,000K a month, you've got to be able to reverse engineer it. So the first question that I ask is, what is the biggest thing that you have overcome? So obviously, because there are so many people here that are really wanting to be light workers, they're really wanting to be coaches, they're really wanting to help. And for example, one person here has had major health issues all her life since she was a child. And I'm sure she won't mind me actually sharing a little about this, but because we were able to go back to childhood and dissolve and clear and release a lot of that stuff, all of a sudden that for her has turned around. So that's the question. What is the biggest thing? Now, remember too, if you guys watch my posts, you may know that I'm going through a transition at the moment, right? So I'm called, it's like the planet is calling me to elevate to the next level at the moment. So I am literally being challenged in every single master key. And yet, even though I go through that dark night of the soul, I understand that this is really for the next elevation. This is really so that it's like a test. It's like, are you good enough to pass this test? And so we talked a lot around the faith. So even though I could say, well, I've overcome a lot of the elements, even one of them that one of the people here said, which was a lot about self-denial, self-doubt, really just not having that self-worth that I know so many people suffer. But then how that kind of then impacts your life through the stories. So you find yourself kind of getting triggered as you go along in life. So when it comes to that, whilst that has been a very earlier situation for me, I've been through the other elements, which is how on earth do I do this thing called the online space? And you guys probably may or may not have heard my story instead of from rags to riches, it went from riches to rags. So I shouldn't laugh, I know, but it's almost like, when Ian and I were making multiple six figures in clinic, we thought that was normal. I thought it was normal to be really successful. But then I came into the online space, so I know what it's like to be in that situation. So there's the next step. So my clients are obviously wanting to find their life purpose. They're wanting to understand what is the magic, what is it that I have to know, do, or be. And I'm here to tell you, you really don't need to know anything more. This is about having faith. This is about putting your skills into practice and really listening to your heart. And once you've got okay, this is how much, because let's face it, we all have to have money because money is a frequency. Money is a frequency that is part of the currency. So we have to really be able to surrender to the $64 million question I then asked. So firstly, what your vision, how much you're making each month, what is the biggest thing that you have overcome in your life? And then the last question, with your vision, with that money, and with all of the things, what is the element that is stopping and blocking you? Now, this is where we want to go back into the channeling, and I'm going to ask everybody to close their eyes down shut. And this is where we call upon the higher guides. As you have all set your legacy, your prosperity, your goal, you know what it is that you've overcome, but now what is the sabotaging pattern that is stopping and blocking you? What is holding you back? What is the story that you are telling yourself? And I'm going to ask you to allow your guides to speak with you, to channel through. And as they channel through so that you can understand, it may be a voice that just really speaks into your life and into your heart with a conviction to say, this is it. I was told by the voice of my guide, have faith. Everything is going to be okay. This is a test of your faith. So worry for nothing. What is it that you require to overcome? And now, as you allow that to channel through, I want you to get ready to go through this alchemizing process. So now, as your eyes are closed down shut, I ask permission for the guides that are over you, that are completely shining upon you, and my guides to collaborate and to help you to release whatever it is, being a dark night of the soul, maybe one that has come from many, many, many years or even generations ago. And I want you to notice that maybe as I'm going through this process, you don't have to really think about anything because you may find thoughts dropping in. And I want you to allow the process to happen. So as you come to know that there's this big vision in your life for your future, as you put out that income prosperity number, as you create the service that you build through your specific signature program based upon what you have overcome. Perhaps it's something in your life that you are called to overcome, that you are going to be a light to the world. Just allow your guide to speak into your life so that this may be present and you may know from where this all comes from, that any blocks, any generational elements, just allow them to come forth, to really show themselves or to reveal what it is. And right now, I just ask through the divine creator, I ask to take each and every person on this call, whether live or on the replay, and I ask right now to track, trace, and go back through every dimension of time to trace where this block, where this thought process has come from. And as you do so, I ask that right now you dissolve, clear, and you release it from all dimensions of time and space. And as you release it from all dimensions of space and time, past, present, and even future, I ask you now to just allow an energetic release to come through as if it's coming from wherever you have held that block, whether it's in your solar plexus, whether it is in your chest, your chakras of your throat, whether it is deeper in your pelvic area. Wherever you are holding it, I ask you to pull that out now. And as you pull it out, I want you to imagine you're pulling it out of your physical being, like you're pulling it out and you're just trusting that all this murky energy is coming out. It's being released. It is just coming away. It's now releasing out of you. As it releases, as it comes out of you, I want you to see it formulate into almost like it is its own part. And if it had a voice, I want you to imagine that you indeed have something really big to learn from this, like my own situation right now in my life. What is it that I have to learn? Well, I can tell you right now, I know that it's for the greater good for the planet. I know it's for the greater good of leading people and releasing it I know it's for the greater good of also honoring the calling on my life. But what is yours? What is the higher purpose? And I want you to imagine that this part that's outside of you, that's filled with all of these elements that have been blocking you, is telling you what you have to learn. It's showing you, revealing to you what it is that is going to be your biggest element. And now I want you to imagine that this part, I want you to see it like it's almost in a formation of a size. And I want you to imagine you have a dial and you're about to turn it down. So I want you to turn it down, making it smaller. I want you now to change the shape and turn it into a circle. I want you to turn that circle. I want you to notice the color of it. And now what I want you to do is I want you to get another dial and I want you to turn the color right up. So it now kind of saturates and it moves into a completely different color. Now, as it turns into a completely different color, I want you to notice that as it takes on this different shape, it's taking on a different life of its own. It's taking on a different color. You are alchemizing it. You've now changed it so that you are about to translate it into your genius. So as you translate that into your genius, I want you to notice the color and then I want you to imagine that it is going up into the heavens. And as it goes into the heavenly realms, I want you to know it's being alchemized at an even higher pace. And as it is alchemized, it returns back in the formation of your powerful self. And I want you to see yourself in your life 7 months from now, 7 months out in the future from the moment that you are hearing this. And I want you to see yourself set up. I want you to see yourself doing what you love. I want you to see that you have an understanding of everything about what you're earning and that number, the magic number. I want you to understand that you have overcome something huge and this is your one big service, and your light that is attracting has got the attractor factor. And as that has that attractor factor, I want you to notice that you forming into that place space with this color. I want you to see your body as being healthy, energized. I want you to see that your relationships are so powerful, that you have created such great connections. I want you to see that your prosperity is right now, like you can reach out and touch it. And now I want you to translate it into the symbol of your epic goal. Notice how it looks as a shape. Notice the color of it. And as you do so, I want you now to translate that so that it is your new power. And I want you to say this after me. I declare to have dissolved, cleared, and released the block, the old patterns that are now transmuted into my highest power. I decree and declare that I am now a figure of epic empowerment. I receive. Say, I receive, I receive, I receive. Say the number that you're receiving. I receive. What that is, 25,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 50,000 a month. Call it in, call it in. I receive it now. I want you to now imagine that you've created your epic one big offer, a smashing offer that has such a beautiful acquisition. that has given you a special superpower. And I want you to now know that all of the elements of the how, it doesn't matter. You've done the work. So allow that new translation for you to turn it into this beautiful symbol and shape and color. And I want you to merge into it 7 months into your future and feel it. Feel it in your body. Feel the transmission of those numbers. Feel the transmission of your awakened genius. Feel the transmission and everything. And now merge back to here and now. And as you merge back, 3, 2, and 1, I want you to open your eyes. And now I want you to claim it. I want you to state, I am rich. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am living the life of my dreams. I am rich, wealthy, healthy, and living my legacy life, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as you thank this higher presence, I want you now to just allow yourself to come back to the here and now. And I want to thank you for going through this process. So in our next sequence, please put all the dates down that are due for the next masterclass, because we're going to get really deep. We're going to go really, really deep into the packaging, the positioning, and all of that exciting, wonderful work that we're going to be doing. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for joining us on another empowering episode of our show, where we have explored through this various topic, along with all the exciting new topics that we bring every week to enhance your personal mastery of excellence. Now, I'd love you to do me a favor. In fact, be part of the Legacy 1 million that I have in the vision for 2028. If you know someone who really would benefit from this recording, from this episode, please share it with them. And when you subscribe, you get notified every week of our episode as soon as it drops. So let's do that legacy thing. Let's share, let's care, let's enrich. And I look forward to bringing you another week of the most enriching content. So until next time, stay inspired, stay awesome, and keep on mastering your excellence.